truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. The channel Truthiracy 3 just put out a short video proving that the flat earth model is impossible. I'm going to link his video in the description. You might get some laughs out of it. I would just mirror it, but I know it will hurt a lot of people's feelings, so I want to do a nicer version of this video in hopes that I reach those people who think the earth is flat. For the past 2 years online, there has been a movement to convince people the earth is flat. This has been a psychological operation targeting the online truth community that is a threat to the powers that shouldn't be. This flat earth psyop is meant to distract us, divide us, and discredit us, and we need to put it to rest. There is definitive proof the earth is a sphere. There is no proof the earth is flat. And the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn are one of these proofs. Let's examine this. This information is undeniable unless you just choose to use cognitive dissonance and deny it. The summer solstice in the northern hemisphere is June 21st. And on that date, the sun is directly overhead the Tropic of Capricorn. The winter solstice for the northern hemisphere is December 21st. On this date, it's also the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, and the sun is directly over the Tropic of Capricorn on December 21st. Notice in this drawing right here, this is the summer. The sun lines up directly overhead the Tropic of Cancer at June 21st, the summer solstice. And by December 21st, because the earth is orbiting the sun, you know, for all of you flat earthers who've taken on the language of the people trying to dupe you, saying, the planet's flying, spinning, reintroduce yourself to the word orbit. You know, the earth is in a perfect orbit, a perfect sequence, a perfect motion, uninterrupted. That's why we don't feel ourselves spinning. Just like when you fly in a plane, you don't feel yourself traveling at 600 miles per hour. The only time you feel yourself in a plane is when the plane is accelerating or decelerating. But when it's moving at its constant speed, it's as if you're sitting on your living room couch. And the same is true of traveling on the massive earth while it orbits the sun. So anyhow, Tropic of Cancer, the sun is directly overhead, summer solstice. Tropic of Capricorn, directly overhead at the winter solstice. These tropics have been known about since, biblical times, for at least 2,000 years. Remember, the mathematics proving the earth is a sphere go back thousands of years to the Greeks, and likely well before that. Just read for you for a moment here. The Tropic of Cancer is the circle marking the latitude 23.5 degrees north, where the sun is directly overhead at noon on June 21st, the beginning of summer in the northern hemisphere. The Tropic of Capricorn is the circle marking the latitude 23.5 degrees south, where the sun is directly overhead at noon on December 21st, the beginning of winter in the northern hemisphere. When the lines were named 2,000 years ago, the sun was in the constellation of Capricorn during the winter solstice and the Cancer during the summer solstice, hence the names. So look, the flat earth community thinks this is the map of the earth, and think about what the Tropic of Cancer would be on this map. It would be a smaller circle than the Tropic of Capricorn. You see how the southern hemisphere is more stretched out on this map? So that means that the Tropic of Cancer would be a smaller circle inside the larger circle that is the Tropic of Capricorn. And if that were so, we wouldn't see the perfect, balance that we do each year, with June 21st being the summer solstice and December 21st being the winter solstice. We know that it's an equal path. That's why it's midway points in the year. That would be impossible if the sun were traveling around this larger circle for part of the year and this smaller circle for the other part. This is just one of many examples that the earth is not flat. Other proofs are that stars, constellations seen from opposite hemispheres spin in opposite directions. That's a major proof. When you watch these flat earth models, they'll show you a sun moving around over the earth that's like a lamp that only lights up part of the earth at a time as it passes by. There's no proof that the light of the sun works that way. The light of the sun is infinite. That's why when it's beyond the horizon, that's how the world becomes in darkness. So many proofs the earth is a sphere, none the earth is flat. I am really amazed that 2 years later, more people haven't figured out that this flat earth thing is a joke and it's been put to bed. So for those of us who realize we need to speak up because this flat earth movement, it's caused a lot of problems. It's discredited us as a community. It's divided us. And it's wasted a lot of energy. There's a conference happening, a flat earth conference. You guys, we need to be getting together to have conferences about taking the world back from the powers that shouldn't be, for exposing the lies of 9/11. Not getting together and saying the earth is flat like a bunch of Looney Tunes. So, I'll link this down in the description if you need some comical relief. It's in this video. But the flat earth thing, you guys, look at the models people are showing you. They're also showing you the moon move around the earth in the middle. If the moon moved around in the middle of the earth like you see on these flat earth models when you watch these videos that get put out, think about it. It means that all sides of the moon would be visible depending on where you were on the flat earth map. As we know, the entire world only sees one side of the moon, which means it's orbiting, further out. So come on, people. Let the light bulb turn on in your brain. It's very clear we live on a sphere. It's why the sun sets behind the horizon, something all of us can witness. Flat earthers and the psyop will try to tell you it's a perspective thing, but it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd the way the flat earth community tries to tell you that the sun is just traveling out a distance and the light's fading out. Anyone who's ever watched the sunset, I don't know how you could ever think that was true. Come out to the West Coast and watch the sunset over the ocean, If the earth were flat, you'd pull out your telescope and you'd pull the sun right back up. But you can't because it's set behind the horizon. Until next time, Truth Seeker.